One-on-one Super Bowl 59. We have another special guest for you here on the show. It's Jayson Werth, 2008 World Series winner with the Philadelphia Phillies and former Major League All-Star. Jayson, thank you for taking the time. We were talking a little bit as we were walking to the table. It's your first radio row. How are things shaping out for you?
Good. I didn't even know I needed to come on radio, right? That's a good thing, right? So, glad I can. It's pretty cool. I'm obviously here to promote my new horse racing venture. We got a podcast going, Icon Racing, LFG on all socials, and off the rail podcast presented by Icon Racing. YouTube and Spotify. I'm doing this whole social media game. So for years I would despise all social media and refused to do it. Now really promoting the podcast.
Earlier, yesterday we had an Eagles wide receiver, Jason Werth, that he retired to get into salsa dancing. How does an MLB player get into horse racing?
Yeah, I think you got to find something, right? It's also, I should have thought about that. Maybe. I know I'm going this way. The horse racing thing has been fun. I didn't really know that there was a void that I needed to fill. So I started playing golf with these guys that own quarterbreds. Playing golf, they start watching the races. And outside of the Triple Crown and Kentucky Derby, like most sports fans, I know very little about horse racing. So, it's like Tuesday afternoon at 2 o'clock in the afternoon. It's like, is this a rerun? What are you guys watching? And they're like, no, dude, I own the 6 here. Like, you own the 6 here. Like, I don't know. Like, how do you do that? So over the next 6 months, I figured out this is something I want to take part in. A lot of pieces of horse. And watched them run at Tampa Bay Downs. It's like kind of a lower level race, and I could not believe how amazing it was. Like the pre-race anxiety, all the nerves building up to it, how amazing the stages are, how small the jockeys are.
Yeah, they're so tiny.
And they're they're riding 40 miles an hour on top of this this wild animal, essentially, this wild creature. It's
the strength that horses have.
It's great. They're going 40
Yeah,
miles.
you can talk. It's okay.
All right, so they get in the gate, and the gate's open, and they're running. I felt like I was back on the field. I felt like I was playing. So then I'm like, oh man, this is filling a void I didn't even know I had. Right? So this was like a Tuesday afternoon at Tampa Bay Downs, the lowest level of the minor leagues of racing. And over the next few years, I started getting into more, get better horses, run at bigger races. This past year, I owned part of a horse named Dornick, and he ran 10 of the Kentucky Derby, won the Belmont High School. Was up for 3-year-old of the year, didn't get it, but literally life-changing last year was just incredible.
So the more and more that you've gotten into horse racing, I'm sure you've gotten to travel around and see different racetracks, see different parts of the country. I know the interest is a lot stronger in certain regional areas.
Sure.
I had a sister who went to the University of Kentucky, so I got to go to a racetrack called Keeneland. Yes, very well known. It was beautiful. I mean, the outfits people were wearing, and it was very cool. There wasn't a blade of grass out of the place. It was the most beautiful thing I've ever seen. But I felt that very same thing that you felt, where I'm in the crowd and there's these animals, there's just these horses. I don't know any of these people. I haven't even had money with it, and I'm anxious before the race because you know they're about to be intense. Do you have a favorite track that you've been to so far? Because I know you just mentioned Belmont State.
Well, I mean, Churchill Downs obviously is unbelievable. The Kentucky Derby, Keyline is incredible place, in Lexington. This year they ran the Belmont in Saratoga. Saratoga is this little town north New York, and every summer the whole city shuts down and becomes this mecca for horse races. People come all over the world. Saratoga racetrack is the oldest venue in North America. It's been there longer than you think about that. So it's like the Wrigley Field or the Fenway Park of horse racing. So you go, and it's this whole throwback feel to it. It's really cool place. And we go, the first time the Belmont's ever ran there, in a Triple Crown race. You go on AmericasBestRacing.com, and they were there that day. They're all mic'd up. You can see the other relations. It's full freak out after.
That's a good question.
It was quite an experience. And there, like
I
don't
think
really like.
there's a guy who works for like JBL or like Beats or something, who like is always at every Yankees game. He comments on like Devils posts and Red Bulls posts. Like look up Janga Beats or something. JANGA.
So I got a baseball question for you here, Jason. We're getting to a point. Chase Utley on the Hall of Fame ballot. Cole Hamels on the Hall of Fame ballot next year. Chase still on there. We'll see Cole for the first time next year. What's the pitch for those two in particular to make the Hall of Fame? You guys were part of a really good World Series winning team, but also a great run of Philadelphia Phillies teams. What's the pitch to put both of those guys in the Hall?
So I would, with Chase, Chase is one of the best players I ever played with. He's the best team I ever had. The problem with the Hall of Fame is about volume. Right? Chase had some injuries later in his career. Volume is going to be the issue. Like he's a Hall of Fame player for sure, but do the injuries take away from him not having enough volume? So we'll see. In my mind, he's a first ballot Hall of Famer. Getting the Hall of Fame is not. Cole, on the other hand, has the volume. He pitched for long enough. I'd have to go back and look at his numbers, but that the first prerequisite for me is volume. So Cole has that. He's been for a long time. So we'll see. I'm part of a more of an elite group actually. The Hall of Fame. I'm in the 0% club. So if you get on the ballot and you don't get any votes, you get kicked off the ballot and you're part of the 0% club because 0% of the vote. So the night they did the voting a couple years ago, whenever it was last time I was on the ballot, I get a text from Pat Burrell that says, "Welcome to the 0% club. We do a hot mark every 10 years."
That's who I was thinking of. Is the other outfielder.
You get
The other Phillies outfielder, Pat Burrell.
I didn't even know that the voting was going on. I wasn't expecting to get in the Hall of Fame. I don't know if I was expecting to get any votes. I definitely wasn't expecting to get into the 0%, but I know it exists. So there you have it. I mean, it's a pretty it's an elite group.
We're in an interesting spot as 21, 22-year-olds where we're starting to see the players we grew up watching, like yourself, get into the Hall of Fame or be up for the Hall of Fame and not get in. Like Curtis Granderson not getting in. I knew he wasn't a Hall of Famer, but that hurt me deep. He was like the first player I ever fell in love with. One of the things I think our generation is starting to push for is less of an emphasis on the duration of your career and how long was your peak. To me, I watched Felix Hernandez and his peak was unreal. That's a Hall of Fame caliber guy. I know you said one of the big prerequisites right now is you have to have the volume. What's your opinion?
Not right now, like forever.
Right.
So I think the standards are high, and it's a really small class of people. I saw a thing the other day that said, I think they used if you took all the baseball players that ever played baseball, you could fit them all into that. You still have like 10,000 seasons.
Wow.
So it is. I mean, so it's a very elite group to begin with, right? The Hall of Fame to me is the biggest accomplishment in all sports because of that. So if you can start taking away what the requirements are, and you start to kind of erode the fabric of what that means to me. Like I'm a third generation big leaguer. My grandpa played 19 years in big league, my uncle played, my dad played. Like so, look, I had Hall of Fame. I didn't have a Hall of Fame career. So I think that's what separates it. Before we start, taking down records and doing that whole thing, I would prefer to do it.
Now, I have a pair of quick questions for you. Now, before you came over today, we were talking about that Phillies World Series team you were on. We were talking about before you came over just how absolutely stacked it was. Just going through the names, how much talent was both on the pitching staff, and you had Shane McCollum, Jimmy Rollins, Chase Utley, so many just pivotal pieces in that team that were just so talented to you guys so far. What's your relationship like with a lot of the members of that team to this day?
So I played on a lot of good teams. I played on teams, almost every team I played on, that we made the playoffs, I wanted to do. I played on 8 wildcard teams. They're all division winners, so those teams are good teams. But if you don't win, like there's no real bond. Like you remain friends with people, but it's not the same. That team, that 08 team, that has an everlasting bond. That will last for eternity. Like those relationships and friendships that you make when you win, it's like nothing. So that group is still really tight. I talk to most of those guys when we get together. They pick up right where we left off. You know, and especially it's not like it is with other teams. Like, you know, you go back through stuff with the Nats. Yes, you have those bonds. Yes, you have good friends. You kind of play on your team, but it's not as special as when you win. We won one. We got beat by the Yankees the second one. And I can't imagine you have those nice things like the Yankees had. Those teams were those gotta be crazy reunions. I said earlier, the guys in our show, they're Yankees fans, they're busting me up about the 09, get beat or whatever. And I said, look, we were never going to win in 09. We were literally playing against jokers. And it was like, there was ghosts on the field. We were playing against, Yankees legends and lore. It was just overwhelmingly tough to overcome. You see the Boston Red Sox show that they just came out with about
Netflix?
Yeah. The documentary, got the show, whatever. And they talked about it. They said they didn't take batting practice on the last day because they weren't going to get. They put up like the Yankees history show or whatever. And they put it in the law. It's like, we didn't take batting practice. We weren't going to go out there. We weren't going to let them wolves to sleep. Do all that whole thing. It's like it's true. Like they have this mystique about it. And that's how they broke the curse. They didn't take batting practice.
And then the other question I have for you, I'm about to finish up my senior season for the club baseball team. After that, I'm off to adult league, and I noticed there's very, maybe beer league softball, maybe adult baseball, whatever. There's very, documented on the internet. You have some success in someone's adult league. There's a video of you hitting an absolute nuke. Yeah, you can't get away from it. Can I'm sure. Your requests are long. I'm sure there's other people trying to sign you to a 10-day in their adult league team. Do you think would you hook me up?
That was a one-time deal. I played in that because there was a guy that actually got shot in the congressional baseball shooting when Scalise got shot. He was the coach. He was like a staffer working on the Hill. Things Matt Micah. He got shot that day twice. I went to see him in the hospital. I was on the DL, so like, hey, we're just one of the survivors. So sure, go in there. I don't know, I'm like, kind of stuff. And I said, hey, once you get better, we can get you out to NASCAR. So we got better, we got him out. The next year, we got him back out. I played some catcher. The year after that, we took some batting practice. I retire. A week later, he calls me and he says, hey, I'm finally getting back on the field and playing the game, into the game. Will you come and play with me? And I was like, all right.
That's amazing.
So now, I just retired, right? I was playing AAA, like I was getting ready to go to the big leagues, pull my hamstring, I was like, I'm tuned up for like 95. Like that's my my time in my life. These guys are playing like 70. So it's like, you guys are probably too young for Bugs Bunny, but like,
Oh, no, we love
so remember the Bugs Bunny where the guy throws like the super slow ball?
Yeah.
Like, 1, 2, 3,
Yes.
That was me. But so they're
You're swinging right through it.
I swung 3 times on one pitch and struck out. So I strike out, ground out, and then all of a sudden, these guys, they're playing in D.C. up in Arlington, right outside D.C. So they're all Nats fans, They pretty certain the other teams like chirping me, They're like, who is this guy? Like, we don't know who he is. And so the guy goes 3-0, my third at bat. The catcher's like, let's go. He didn't come here to walk. He throws the ball back and he's like, I don't even know who he is. And it pissed me off.
Rightfully so.
Pissed me off.
I don't know who he is.
And the next pitch I hit over the scoreboard. And I'm rounding the bases and I thought to myself, I said, this is it. I'm never playing another game in my life.
You're riding off into the
So
sun.
to answer your question, no.
All right. It was worth a try. Yeah.
Value enough.
It was worth a try.
Well, Jayson, thank you so much for taking the time out to chat with us. Jayson Werth, 2008 World Series champion with the Philadelphia Phillies. That's it, right? Are we all done here?
Yeah, before we go, check out our podcast on YouTube and Spotify, Off the Rails by Icon Racing, the social media Icon Racing, LFP. I'll let you guys figure out what that stands for. You guys might be too young for that. But,
Can't say it on Fordham Airways.
come to a race and you'll know what it means.
Sweet. Awesome. Well, thank you for tuning in to Radio Row Super Bowl 59. It's been a blast. That's all we got there.